So hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we look at a Samsung EcoBubble on how to replace a worn out or a torn door gasket. If you look at this one, there is a dent here, so the machine was leaking. So what they did, this is an old machine, what they did is they turned the door gasket upside down so that it was leaking from here. So what they did, they just turned it around. But now the problem is, when after washing, water sticks here. When it's the other way around, there is always a perforation down here. So when it's done washing, the water goes down the drum and it's drained. But now, because this has been changed, there is no perforation here. So after washing, we have water here stagnating here, which is not a good thing, because after washing, you need the clothes dry. So what we're going to do is, we are going to remove this door gasket and change with a new one. So we get into it. So first things first, ensure that your washing machine is unplugged from power to avoid electric shock. So to be safe, ensure it's unplugged. So once it's unplugged, with this model, we have 2 screws here. So you remove this and this. But before that, a quick one. We have to remove the cloths, and I'll show you what makes this rubber to get damaged. So what people are doing is just a quick one. So when they are removing clothes after washing, they drag the clothes. When you drag the clothes with that force, it affects the gasket. So definitely it gets torn. So we advise you, when you're removing clothes after you've done with your washing, just one by one, take time. If you could wait for 2 minutes to wash, for 2 hours to wash, also take time to remove your clothes, just one by one. Because if you drag, like jeans, if you drag, definitely they destroy the gasket. So you just remove your clothes one by one. Good, there we go. So if you drag, we said you will destroy the gasket. So you have to remove the clothes one by one. Okay. So what I was talking about is this. You see these ones are dry, but the small garments like the socks, they are wet. Why? Because there's no perforation here, because this gasket was turned upside down. So what you need to do, we remove all the clothes. You set them aside. So what we need to do, you can empty the filter just up here. You can empty your filter. Remove this cup here. Once that is done, we remove the 2 screws at the back, which I had already removed. So you pull this. So once you remove everything, ensure that you put them in a place that you won't forget and easy to return. So we put that there, and then number 2, we remove the dispenser. It's hidden here, push. So just push this one inside and remove our dispenser. It still has water, so you keep it somewhere. So once that's done, we have this screw here and this screw that you're going to remove, because we want to remove the panel, the front panel. So we remove this. All the screws, we keep them in one place. So remove this. We have other screws. 4 of them, we remove them. We just dropped one. Ensure we get it before we forget about it. We put all the screws in one place. Okay. So once you remove this screw and this one here, we have clips behind here, so you need a flat just to unclip them. You unclip here, there's another one here to unclip. Once you unclip them, you can easily pull out the control panel. So after pulling out the front panel, what you can do is you can just flip it over here, or alternatively you remove the clips. But before you do that, we advise you take photos so that you remember what came from where, to avoid confusion when you are assembling the machine. So with this one, you just flip it over, put it here. It's much easier than disconnecting all the wires. Once that is done, before we move this, once you open the door, once you open the door, there's always a wire that clips the gasket tight onto this panel to avoid leakage. So what we do, we get a flat, we look for the spring, and then we remove the wire. It's simple. The spring is somewhere here. Using a flat, you just go over like this. This is the spring, keep it safe. Okay, once you've done that, you can just pull the gasket inside like this. Once you pull the gasket inside, you can remove these two screws, just to remove the door switch, which is somewhere here. But we really don't need to remove this. So what you need to do, once you put this on inside, you just close the door. Once the door is closed, you get your stop. Remove this screw here. There are 4. One here, another one here, and then we have others 5 down there. So screw this. Once that is done, we go down. If you have someone to help you, you can flip it. You can flip the machine so that you easily access the screws. If not, now you have to go down and do this. You just move this one here to get enough space. You get some torch here. I need some light. For some lighting. My battery is low, so it won't give me light. So what you need to do, we unscrew this. Keep it safe. So this one is out. Once you're done with that, this is out, this is out. The ones at the bottom are out. You've removed this. The rubber seal is inside. So all the screws are out. What you need to do is you pull out the door, the front panel. It will come out to the door. It's clipped. So what you need to do is you just pull it up and then pull it from the front. So then you pull it here and then there we go. So what you can do is, this is the door lock. You can just remove the wires that got the door lock, or just put it somewhere safe like here. So that, because what you only need the front part, part only. So what you need to do is we remove this. These are the concrete that balances the machine. We also remove this one, and then we remove the gasket. Alternatively, you can only remove this. You can only unscrew this one here. Once this one is done, you will pull out the gasket and then return it. But for those starters, we advise you remove this and this, so that you completely remove everything, and also you can easily clean the place after removing the gasket. So we're going to it. this one is number 13, I guess. 13. It's 12. Wait for number 13. This 14. 11. 13. Amazing. So we'll start this side. Keep them safe. Go next. Keep them safe. And then we move the last one here. When you move the last one, because it's already loose, be careful so you can hold this one, because if they fall down they can easily break, and then also it will be another cost now having to get this concrete. So just to be safe, guys, hold it here and then pull that. So this one is on the right side. Just for you to remember everything, you can take an image before you remove any part from the machine. Like for the concrete, I always place, like this one is the right one, I put it this side on the right, this one I put it the other side, so that I remember which one came from where. Okay, we go to this one here. Okay. This is the last one. Removing the last one, ensure you hold the concrete so that they don't fall. Put it on the other side so that we remember which one came from where. So once we're done, you see, we've made the gasket only, so we need to remove this. What you need to do is just unscrew this one, loosen it a bit. Loose enough, just put it out. There we go. So we remove this, because we'll use this to turn the other gasket to hold it tight. So this is the torn one. As I was explaining, it was turned upside down, so this one is down here, should have been here. So this perforation helps water to go down, and then it was leaking from here. So what we need to do, we just replace it with a new one. Before that, you can wipe it, but this one looks better. So we get new gasket. We have two of them, serving as the same purpose. Okay. Before you replace the gasket, ensure that it has no dent to avoid leakages and double work. This one is better. This one is also very okay. So what you need to do, ensure that this side is down. The one that has perforation here should be down. Okay. And then this clip here will be up here. There is a mark here that this goes in to give you the correct alignment. All Samsung machines have that. See, there's this clip here that will help you get the correct and the right alignment. So what you need to do is you get this one. Okay, you just do this one. So using this one, the triangle shaped stuff here, there is a place it goes. It's well indicated here. That goes there first. Okay, once it's there, now you start clipping back your gasket like this, like that. You clip it back. ensure it's tight. So once that is done, we get this back. Ensure first it's loose enough so that it fits well before you tighten it. So you come here, ensure it's well clipped as well. Start from the bottom here. Once it's well fit in there, you have to tighten it. We almost tighten it, ensure it's well screwed. Ensure it's tight enough. Amazing, good job. There we go. Once it's tight, well gripped, now we return our concrete. So when you're clipping them back, ensure it goes in the right holes, because if you don't, now this one won't fit well, the front panel won't fit well. So return all the bolts. Tight. These are stabilizers, so they have to be tight. And then we return this one, left side. Good. tight, because once it's done, you're done. Okay, so the door gasket is in place. So we take our door front panel. So this one is out. Okay, the wire clips lining, so we just put it back in there. Should be clipped. There's a hole here that should go in. So what we need to do, okay, before that, I'll show you. We have this space here, this here, it clips here. So it clips here. So when we turn it, just ensure it's clipped. Clipped in both sides. Ensure that it's well clipped. So we turn the 4 screws. Just before we put the 4 screws down there, we have to ensure that this one is well, it's well balanced, because normally we have 2 holes here for screws, so people confuse and they screw it on the one that's down there, so you get it's in balance. When you try to put the display panel, it doesn't fit, so it doesn't, the clips here don't fit into this. Okay, so we work on the screws there, so you have to go down, down, down. It's not well balanced. I have to pull it, to push it aside. So this happens when you're working on this, it happens. Open the door. Once the door is open, now we'll turn the gasket. Just pull it out like that. Once it's out, we clip it back. Get this back. So when you're turning this, you have to have your screw or a flat. So So normally, for me, I use the screw long one and the flat. So what we do is we hook it back somewhere here. When hooking it back, what I do is to hold it so that it doesn't move. I place my screw here. Okay. So when it's here, I ensure it's holding it tight. The angle of the camera, so I'm trying to get the right spot to hold it tight. Once it's hooked in there, once it's hooked in there, I support it using my leg here, and then I put it around like that, and then I clip it back, like that. So inside it won't come out. We're done. It's well screwed. It's well, it's fitting well. So let's see if the door looks well. The door looks well. On this spring here holds on the glass tight, so there will be no leakage. Okay, and there is perforation here, so we don't have stagnant water here. So once that is done, we take our display, the display panel, okay, which has the PCB, and then we hook it back. You ensure this clips goes into these holes. We have 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. That. Okay. Once that is done, we take our screws. The 2 long screws goes here. The ones that goes with the plastic are usually long. So okay, it's clipped well. Because if it's not, it won't hold it. That's a mistake. You have to screw the upper one so that the dispenser doesn't move. Before we come to those that was the dispenser, so we screw this back so that the dispenser doesn't move. Come back to our long screws. It will be easier to screw them back as quick as that. Here. Okay. Once it's tight, we get our dispenser back. The dispenser fits. Okay. Alright. We can return back our water filter. Turn back this clip. There you go. And then we get our top panel. We screw the 2 and get the screws. Alright, machine is okay. We can do a test run to see if the machine is working well. So we plug it there. Once it's plugged, it's powering on. So everything is okay. You can put it on a spin only. Let's see the way it runs. It's draining, but the best we can do is we put it on a program that fills in water. So let's put it, let's say, on a rinse and spin, because it will fill with the water. We see if there is any leakage or not. For information, it's connected to the water already. The water tap is on. So let's say it's filling with water, and then we see if there is a leakage or not. There you go, it's filling with water. It's filling with water, guys. So let me just remove this for you to see. It's filling with water. This leakage you are seeing it because I opened the dispenser when it was filling with the water. So the water came here. But we just wipe that really quick. So it's not leaking from here. The only leakage I have is from here. This one is not well closed, but there's no leakage from here. So just pause it so that we don't have a messy place. So yeah, that's it.